Welcome to Motivational Mondays, where we take time to help you find, create, and sustain your motivation. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of gratitude and the role that plays in helping you be more motivated. According to Harvard, gratitude is consistently associated with greater happiness. It reduces negative thoughts and feelings. Who doesn't want to be more happy? Who doesn't want to have a happier life, happier thoughts? Who doesn't want that? Optimism leads you to try new things, hope for the best, and find ways around hard things and obstacles. You know, the discipline of parkour is made up of obstacles. There would be no parkour if there were no obstacles. And the idea with parkour is you see an obstacle, and it's a good thing because it trains you how to get over it or under it or through it. It makes you stronger. So you're training your mindset to say, this is bad, this is great, because it's going to help me be stronger. A positive person can say that. A positive person can look at something hard, whether it's something they have to deal with in their day, at work, in their family, in their personal life. A positive person can look at it and say, this is hard. Let's figure out a way to get around that and become stronger and be better because of it. Whereas a negative person who isn't being grateful, they're going to say, this obstacle is bad. And why does it always happen to me? And I wish it was easier. And it must be nice to be that other person. I could never get around it. There's going to be that limited mindset of this is bad. This is how it always is. I can never do better. So a positive mindset is really going to set you up for success. And one of the best ways to create a positive mindset, to be grateful and be happier because you're being more grateful. So gratitude is so important, especially when you're trying to make changes, because change is hard. And most of the time, the first time you do something, you're not an expert at it. Let's just be honest. The first time you do something, you're not going to be an expert at it. So if you're trying to cook a new dish, most likely you might not be an expert at it. Whereas opposed to if it was a family recipe, you probably could cook that in no time with no recipe because you have had practice. So keep that in mind that the first time you do something, you're not going to be an expert. Expect it to be hard, but be thankful that you can be learning new things. So this mindset of gratitude really sets you up for success. You know, emotions and thoughts are complicated because it's not just a thought. So let's say you are going to cook a new healthy dish because you're trying to eat healthier, so you're trying a new recipe. You know, if you think, oh, this is hard, I'm not going to be able to do it, that's a thought, but it's going to affect your emotions. It's more than just a thought. And that's why what you think is so important, because thoughts are so complicated in our mind with our hormones and how our whole body functions that you think that negative thought and it's going to affect you hormonally and it's going to make you less willing to give it a shot. But if you approach that situation of I'm making a new dish and I don't quite understand it as, okay, this is my first time, so I might mess up, but I'm going to do the best job I can. And next time I make this dish, it's going to be even easier. Expect things to be hard, but expect yourself to be able to do better and learn through it, and then be thankful for the opportunities that you had to grow and become better. And without the mindset of gratitude and thinking positively, it is really hard to tackle challenges and make changes. You know, if you've ever witnessed a kid working on something, maybe they're doing a task, cleaning, sweeping, or something like that, and you tell them, you're doing a great job. There's like this instant change in their demeanor. Maybe they're working a little harder all of a sudden. They take like a pride in their work because someone has noticed and has said, you are doing a good job. That was a thought, but it triggered emotions, and that triggered everything in their body to act differently. When you have a sense of achievement, that feeling, that releases dopamine. And when you tell a kid, you're doing a great job, they have a sense of achievement. They release dopamine. But who are we kidding? You could say the exact same thing to an adult, and I'm pretty sure they would be a lot happier, work a lot harder, release dopamine, and feel a sense of achievement. Adults are just like kids. We like to be encouraged. We like to know we're doing what's right. And that dopamine release really triggers us to act and respond differently. Also, when you encourage a kid or an adult, that releases oxytocin, which is the hormone involved in creating relationships and strengthening those relational bonds. So kind words said to another person triggers great reactions hormonally, and that results in a change in behavior for that person. But check this out. When you are grateful, your brain is signaled to release those happy hormones, including dopamine and oxytocin. So the same result of telling someone you're doing a great job, that is the result you get in your brain when you take time to be thankful. That is incredible. And if that's not incredible enough, according to Runner's World, when you experience the feeling of gratitude, your brain releases a combination of dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. Very similar to the runner's high. So for all you who don't like to work out, this is your go-to right here. You can be grateful and get those endorphins. Now, I still encourage you to work out. But that is crazy that being grateful, just in your mind, taking time to be grateful, has the same effect for the feel-good hormones as running almost. That is pretty exciting. So let's think about what would happen if you were a happier person. So if you're taking time to be more grateful and you have those good, happy, feel-good hormones running around, how is that going to affect your life and your health goals and your motivation level? Well, when you're happier, normally you feel more like eating what's best for your body. You know, when depression and discouragement, that normally leads us to wanting to eat junk food, comfort food. But when you're feeling happy and healthy and motivated, like you can take on the world and you have those happy hormones going on, you're going to be a lot more prone to eat what's best for your body and to say no to the chocolate and yes to the salad and things like that. You're also going to have more energy to exercise, and you might even have better sleep. And because of these healthier behaviors that those good hormones that are running around are going to encourage you to do because you're just being more grateful, that can also lead to lowering your blood pressure, lead to weight loss, reduce your risk for stress, and reduce your risk for cardiovascular disease. All that is just from taking time to be more grateful. So as you try to get motivated and try to sustain that motivation, just stop and take time to be grateful. Because if you're grateful, that will create its own motivation from there.